Hi my salty pecans, and welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, hi, my name is Pamela, and on today's video, as you can see by the title, we are talking about the beautiful orchid, this plant that I have noticed across social media throughout the many years. It's been a conversation of whether or not this is a type of plant that is easy to maintain, easy to care for, easy to keep alive. And I'm going to speak on behalf of my one and only orchid in my collection, this beauty. Okay, I don't remember the exact type of orchid it was, well it is, but I've had this plant for an entire calendar year, over 365 days. I went through all 4 quarters, and now we are repeating another quarter with this plant. And it has done nothing but bloom, flower, and grow for me every single month, every other month, this entire year. I was so surprised. I was actually not expecting this at all when I got the plant. Honestly, a lot of the times when you get a new plant, you don't know how it's going to react in your home, react in your collection, until you've had it for some time. And I honestly believe having a plant for an entire year, going through all 4 seasons, really shows you the type of care and need that each single plant requires, especially in your own environment. The type of care that this plant requires in my home may be different than the one that you have in your home, and also the type of plant that you have may be different than the type that I have. One thing that I've noticed with a multitude of plants in my collection, whether it's an orchid, a Dieffenbachia, a pothos, monsteras, the stock of plant, where the plant comes from, the location that the plant is growing in your home, all make for the care, makes for the viability of the plant. With all of that being said, I'm going to just share with you all my orchid care tip that I have noticed that I've been doing for my plant in my collection for the last 365 days. If you're interested in what I have to say and the advice on how to keep your orchid alive, then keep on watching. So welcome back everybody. Okay, this beauty, like I mentioned, has flowered for me basically every single month or every other month. Once a leaf starts to wither, it drops, it dries, then a new bud will start to form on the edge, the tip of the vine, and like so. Okay, really much like this. Let's see, okay, so you see in this interior portion right here, this is getting ready to flower and open up, and this is a new growth point that's getting ready to push out to form something more like this. And then gradually it will get bigger, like a little seed pod, and then bigger like this one. Okay, don't focus on my ring. And eventually the whole entire flower will just bloop, pop open, and you get this beautiful orchid leaf, orchid flower. And this is the orchid leaves. Okay, so before I even get into plant care, I want to talk about selecting the right orchid. One thing, well, the main thing about the orchids when you go into the shops to purchase your plant is that you see a plant, it's flowered, it's beautiful, you're like, that's the one I want, the one with the most flowers, so that I can put it on my table, whatever area, and just have it displayed. That is mistake number 1. Personally, I recommend you look for an orchid that actually does not have too many flowers. Look for an orchid that has the blooms, okay, that has the little buds, because that means these flowers are eventually going to die. Okay, they're going to dry out, they're going to fall off, but this means the plant is ready to put out more flowers. Okay, these are the babies that we really want to look for. Don't look for a plant with a whole bunch of flowers. Yes, you can, but look more at the plant. Look more into the plant. Inspect it. Do you see this? This is what you're looking for. Okay? Another thing that I recommend, especially when I pick this plant out, because when I tell you I took my time to pick out the perfect orchid, and I'm so happy that I did. I purchased this plant from Trader Joe's early last spring of 2024. And when I originally got this plant, only 2 vines were flowering. I had this 3rd vine, so if you can see, there's 1, 2, and 3. Only these 2 that are attached to the pole had flowers. This one was very immature. It only had a little bud right here, and there were no flowers coming out of it. It took a couple of months for this one to actually start to flower and produce blooms for me. Okay, that was the other thing that I looked for. A plant that has more than one new growth point, more than one offshoot, because that means more flowers to come out. A lot of places you'll see, oh my gosh, this orchid is beautiful, it has so many flowers, but it's just only one, and then that's it. Make sure to look for something that has multiple points of growth, because multiple points of growth equals multiple points of growth, multiple points of flowering, multiple opportunities to get a new beautiful leaf. That's the second bit of advice that I can give to you all. Now, the third bit of advice is regarding how you water your orchid. Okay, so I have a little fly gnat sticky flower thing because of where this plant lives. It lives in my bathroom, and for the oddest reasons, I have little fungus gnats in there, which is fine. I use this to just catch whatever tries to come out of here, because this type of plant, I let it sit in water. Okay, I'll insert a clip of me watering this plant. I'll show you how I truly water it, but for the most part, I don't let my orchid dry out. So this is where my orchid lives. Soft light, diffused light. But now let me show you how I water it. Take the orchid out of this. I'll let it run another shower head. Make sure this gets a nice saturation. It's gonna change from this brown to like a deep chocolate. Let every part of the orchid saturate in water. Let the leaves get the dust off of it. I take it right back into here. And that's basically it. And that's how I keep my orchid watered and alive. Don't let my orchid dry out. The advice that I see, even when I purchased the plant, the little care card that came with this, is some nonsense BS talking about put ice cubes. Never put ice cubes in your orchid, on your orchid. Don't ever do that. Put ice cubes anywhere on plant. Some random man gave me, seen me with, sorry, sidetrack. Some random man seen me with a ZZ that I was rescuing for my mom, and then he was just like, oh yeah, you know, put like ice cubes on there. Like, I like have plants, but I'm like, oh really, thank you sir, like for your garbage ass advice. I will never do that, but thank you for trying. You know, I didn't say that to his face, I just thought it in my mind. I'm like, oh really, oh, thank you. Don't ever do that. Do not put ice cubes on your plant. Thoroughly water your orchid. Orchids live in orchid bark. At least my orchid lives in orchid bark. Orchid bark are wood pieces. Wood pieces absorb, release, dry out when it comes to liquid. My orchid, that's its only source of water, only source of moisture. Letting this dry out, I have always noticed, okay, always noticed that if I have new growth and I let it dry out a little bit, it tends to immaturely die. It will turn like, this will turn yellow, okay, this here will turn yellow, and then the whole flower will die. We don't want that. We don't want that. Keep your orchid actually well watered. Well watered. Do not let it dry out. And then even after you water it, try to use a cashpo, a container with a saucer that can actually also hold additional liquid. So as you can see, the last time I watered this plant, I will rewater it again for this video. Last time I watered it, I let it drain inside of here, and then it's low enough that it's able to collect any excess liquid and reabsorb it, reabsorb it, reabsorb it. I probably water this once or twice a week, even during the winter months. In the summer months, I will definitely water it maybe like 2 to 3 times a week. How I water it is, I simply, when I go in the shower, I take this with me. I take it out of the cashpo. I let it run under the shower head. So I actually let the water fall on the foliage. I let it fall on the flowers. I let it fall on the buds, on the petals, into the orchid bark, and I let it saturate itself. And then once I believe that it's fully watered, everything is wet, I plop it back bloop, right here, and I set it aside to where it lives. This plant lives in my bathroom. It's always lived in my bathroom. After the first couple of months that I've had it, I moved it into my bathroom because I found that it loves the temperature, it loves the environment in my bathroom, the humidity, the lighting, the everything. It just loves it within my bathroom. So this is where this plant lives. One beautiful thing about being a houseplant parent is you get to experiment with your plant. You get to observe your plant. You get to see, okay, how does it react in one space versus another space. If you have a plant and you're fortunate enough to be in a home where you can move your plants around, you're not bound to just one area, one space, do that. Move the plants around. See how it reacts. Originally, this lived in my bedroom. It was in front of a window. Sorry, it was in front of a mirror above the fireplace. I decided, you know what, maybe it might be a little too harsh. The lighting there might be a little too harsh. So let's see how it does in my bathroom. I've had other plants like my Hoya linearis that I went through maybe like 4 or 5 or even 6 different Hoya linearis through my houseplant collecting life, and none of them could survive inside of this bedroom. This bedroom gets great lighting. It gets really warm in the summertime, and the Hoya linearis was just drying out way too much, way too much. So 2 years ago, I moved my Hoya linearis into my bathroom. Like, as soon as I got it, that's basically where it lived. The most recent one that I picked up, and it's thrived in my bathroom. So I'm like, you know what, let me try to put my orchid there as well. And my orchid again does amazing in my bathroom. It does not complain one single bit. So that is that with this beauty. Another thing is, again, this plant has not stopped flowering. It's flowered for me every single month or every other month. Once these fall off, it starts to push out new growth. It starts to push out the new growth, and it just keeps growing. So honestly, more importantly, keep your orchid well watered. Give your orchid that soft ambient light. Do not give it bright indirect light or bright direct light. Give it very muted lighting, okay? If you can keep it in a humid environment, keep it in a humid environment as well. This plant is amazing. This plant is amazing. It's beautiful. If you need to change out the media that it's in, you can do that. I have not changed my media for my orchid. It's been in the same container that I bought it in last year, and I have not upgraded it. I don't think it needs an upgrade just yet. If it does, I will eventually give it an upgrade, but for now it's gonna stay in here. I'm gonna keep it well watered, and that's pretty much it. So to sum up, round out the advice that I can give you all on how to pick an orchid and how to keep an orchid alive is, number one, it all starts at the store when you're purchasing it. Look at the orchid, see if it's one that has one stalk or if there's multiple different new growth offshoots, okay? The second thing is look at the buds, okay? Is the orchid fully flowered, or do you actually see it has new growth points? It has the opportunity to put out new offshoots. That's the second advice, because that means you have a plant with multiple different points of flowering, and you also have a lively, pregnant, happy plant. Secondly, keep your orchid well watered, okay? This is one plant that does not like, in my care, to go dry between waterings. It wants to always stay moist. The type of media it uses is wood chips. Wood chips are with that. They are wood. Keep it watered. Keep it dust free. Also, I talk to this plant. This is probably one of the few plants in my collection that I talk to. I think I talk to this plant daily, and I just praise it. I like, you're so beautiful. You make me so happy. I'm so proud of you. I can't believe that you're doing so well in my collection. Continue to do that. You just make me so proud. And as you can see, this plant is so long that I actually just wrap it around. I started to braid it. I braid this plant because, again, it just keeps getting longer and longer, and I don't have sticks longer than this. So in order to give it some sort of beauty, some sort of shape, wrap it around. Wrap around. My nose is so stuffy again. So I'm going to just end this video right here. If you have any questions, if you have any comments, any additional advice for Salty Pecans regarding orchids, let us know in the comment section below. If you have any tips for me, let me know. I am actually looking into getting another orchid this year to add into my collection, because I was really nervous. I was so nervous about getting an orchid and keeping it and being able to keep it alive, because I just heard so many horror stories. People always said this plant is impossible to keep alive. If you are an orchid plant parent, let me know if you have a favorite one. Let me know which different families, which different type of orchids I should probably look into. I'm thinking of getting a yellow one. The yellow ones are so pretty. Maybe not this exact sort of flower. They have so many different types. So that is the next orchid I'm thinking of getting. Again, I picked this one up from Trader Joe's. It was not very expensive. Less than $20 for this plant. I'm definitely most likely going to get my other one from Trader Joe's as well, because it's affordable. I don't like overspending on plants, and I don't think you should overspend on plants too, unless it's worth it. But it's hard to find plants that are worth it, especially in this economy, because you can just find plants everywhere, okay? With that being said, thank you so much, my Salty Pecans, for watching this video. If you liked it, please let me know by giving this video a big old thumbs up and sharing. And if you haven't already done so, please subscribe to this channel, become a Salty Pecan, share this video if you liked. We're pretty awesome here. Help the community grow, because we're so ever grateful and thankful for each and every single last one of you, okay? And I will see you on the next one. Let's get growing. Bye.